doing? Happy Friday. It's Finally Friday. Funny thing about that, do you remember that live stream, if any of you were on when Sean put on the Finally Friday song? Like the actual song? Then we got like dinged by YouTube. They're like, that song is a real song, and if you own the rights, that's cool. Otherwise, you can't monetize this. And I was like, oh, that's never happened, because I don't do any music. Hey, everybody. Hey, Emily and Helen and Freya and Princess M and Shashari, Carly, and Aaron. Oh, no, that's not Aaron. Dawn to Dusk, is that Aaron? That looks like Aaron, almost like the same kind of picture. I don't know. Is that who I think it is? Well, hey, everybody. Rebecca and Sumo. Thanks, Jess R. Whoop, whoop. Right out the gate with the tips. Oh, it is. Yay. I thought it looked... Oh, Waxly Rabbit's here. Yay. Everybody, is this a good time? Maybe this is a really good time. It's at the end of a day, and I've done a little research and asked a couple people what's the best time for live streams, because some people have been doing it a lot longer than me. Thanks for the applause, Devin. And so I asked, and they, thanks, Jess R. Woo, woo. And they told me that nighttime is better.
Trending already.
The nighttime is the right time. Oh, we are trending. Already 742 thumbs up. Woo, woo.
I think it matters.
Oh, it's 1 a.m.
Thumbs up happen all at the beginning. Like it really pauses it.
Oh, thanks, Aaron. Yeah. Oh, and it's 1 a.m. in the UK, and it's noon in Melbourne. That has been the craziest thing. So if any of you know, I have a Patreon channel. What Patreon is you can pledge to support your YouTube channels. Jess R., you are so sweet today. If you have any questions, you let me know in a minute, and I will answer them gladly, or guest you if you prefer. However, Patreon is a way for you to support YouTube channels, and a lot of different people have them, and it's a way for us to be able to make our videos, because YouTube, we don't get paid that much from YouTube, just gonna throw it out there. But I love what I do, and so some of my Patreon patrons that are in the $100 a month pledge, they get an hour-long hangout with me. But some are in Australia and in Melbourne, some are in the UK, some are in the States, and the time zones. I've had to do some intense calculations to figure out how we can all be on at the same time and hang out. So it's been really interesting. I didn't realize that I'm 18 and a half hours behind those of you in parts of Australia. Because Australia is huge, by the way. If any of you think it's really small, it's huge. And I'm still trying to go. I don't want to forget to mention this. I'm working my tail off, and actually Sean's working his tail off too, so kudos to Sean. Whoop,
I don't have a tail.
Yeah, I don't have a tail, he says. Thanks, Jess R., for the tips. You're so sweet. Okay, 2 p.m. in New Zealand. Awesome. Okay, so anyway, we've been working our tails off to try to get to Australia, and I know many of you have reached out, and I'm going to try to figure out, I'm trying to put together a proposal so that we can get more funding so that I'm able to actually go, because it's expensive and, you know, we got to make it work out. So thank you to all of you who've reached out. And if any of you are in Australia or in New Zealand or in the areas over there, if you have a school that you think I could come speak at, if maybe they have a little bit of funding, if they can pay a little bit of a portion, let's say, you know, $250, $500, $1,000, every little bit helps to try to get us over there and let us, hopefully, we're hoping to spend 2 weeks and be able to go all over Australia. If there's a reason to go to New Zealand, we can hop on a plane and do that. I would love to meet you all. So I'm working on it. I'm trying to make it happen. VidCon Australia didn't invite me to go, and so I'm trying to find a way to force their hand. Yeah. So you can get on VidCon Australia and be like, where's Katie? Bring Katie. Do it. Tell them to do it. That's us telling them to. That's not me telling you to do it. You do whatever you want. I'm just working hard to try to come and see you. Okay? Cool. Oh, this is a good one. Chloe, that's a really good question. The question is, could you talk a little bit about parentification or make a video on it? This has happened to me. I'll talk a little bit about it. Just hold that thought. Where's my phone? It's actually probably good I get my phone because I need to silence it. Okay, I'm going to put it in my notes. Oh, and actually, I want to be on Snapchat. Hello? You guys, we're going live. Hop on YouNow. Look at all the comments. Woo. Okay, but I'll put that in my notes, Chloe, so I don't forget, because I think that's a really good topic and something that a lot of us deal with. So let me put that down before I forget. Sorry, guys, it's just what I got to do. Parentification. That's not at all the word that I put in. Tification. Okay, cool. I will know what that means, and I will look into it. But let's talk a little bit about that. So just so you guys know, if any of you are new and are new to my live stream and don't know who I am, my name is Kati Morton. I'm a licensed therapist. I have a mental health channel on YouTube, and I would encourage you to fan this channel if you like it, or this, is that what you would call this? Fan me on this thing called YouNow, so that when I do go live, you get notified. But we call ourselves as a community the Kenyans. You don't have to adopt that, but thanks, Jess R. You're so generous today and so sweet. And so anyway, welcome to the Kenyan community. It's a community where we all help each other, we share our experiences, and together we stomp out the stigma of mental illness and hopefully educate people along the process and help everybody get help sooner and know that no, nothing's wrong with you and you're not weird. We all go through it, right? Does that make sure? Yeah, I don't know how you work YouNow. I know, right? It's a little tricky. We're learning, but you can fan it and you can give it a thumbs up. The thumbs up actually through Sean and I doing some like A/B testing. Remember last time I was talking about the rewinds, like capturing a moment?
Those are also important.
Those are important, but thumbs up help us trend, which helps more people discover this and helps more people be aware of the Kenyan community. So, Jess R., let me know if you have a question, honey. I will be listening. And so anyway, I know that a lot of you, have been on, and so thank you for coming to tune in. But to talk about parentification, oh, I know what I was going to say. Sorry, guys. It's the end of the day. I'm getting scattered. But what I was saying is today's live stream, oh, hey, Manda. Today's live stream is going to be structured as such. I'm going to chat with you for a bit. I'm going to answer a couple questions. I'm going to guest someone. Then I'm going to hop over to Patreon, and then we're going to do that again. Does that sound cool? So chatting, so you can ask your questions in chat. You can hop in the guest now and wait, because I usually go for who's been waiting the longest, and I try to get new people who haven't guested so that everybody gets a chance. And then I'm going to hop on Patreon. So if you're a Patreon patron, I had a post that I put up 2 days ago, I think, or yesterday, telling you about the 2 live streams, because I'm coming to you on Sunday too. So you can ask your questions below that, and I'll try to answer it here. And if I don't have enough time, then I'll get through as many as I can on Patreon and try to answer all of your questions as much as I can. Thanks, Randy. Hey, everybody. It's so nice to see you all. I'm glad that this worked out and this time has been good. So let's talk a little bit about parentification, just because I think it's an important topic. Now, parentification is kind of what it sounds like. It's when we are parentified. We are made to be an adult/parent when we are not. And they talk about it in reference to children whose parents aren't being parents. They're not adulting to the fullest. They could be alcoholics. They could be drug addicts. They could be workaholics. It could be abusive. It could be a lot of things. Maybe we have a younger sibling we have to take care of. And when things aren't going well in our home and we feel like no one's rising to the occasion in adulting, we adult, we parentify. And so that's something that happens in those situations, and it's something I can definitely talk about. I'll have to start looking into it, but if any of you have specific questions that you want me to answer about it, leave it in the comments below this on YouTube, or if you're a Patreon patron, let me know below the post. Let me know if there's the post that I put up about the live streams, let me know there. So Becky said she's never heard of this. So it's something that can happen, and it's the reason that a lot of people, struggle. And it's something I think is really important to talk about. Okay. I'm going to block somebody real quick. Sorry. I'm just going to report some people that are, talking trash. And if you see someone who's talking trash or someone's bullying you, I've had this happen recently on here. They do a really good job on YouNow trying to weed out people who are just being assholes or spamming or anything like that. You can click on their name and click the little red flag on the bottom right corner and either block them or report them. Okay? Oh, melatonin for insomnia. Mr. Bubble Bash is talking about that. Melatonin is what our body actually, or I guess it's technically our brain, but our body creates melatonin. It's what brings us into the sleep cycle. It's like that heavy weighted blanket feeling. You guys, spoilers, I have a blanket. Surprise! Like I said, I love blankets. This is one of my favorites. But it's like that heavy weighted blanket of sleep that we feel. That comes from their melatonin production. And taking melatonin, it's over the counter. It's something that I do recommend for my clients who struggle to sleep or struggle to either get to sleep or stay asleep. And I think they recommend starting at 2 milligrams and the maximum being 10. So, okay. So let's get into, okay. Sorry, you guys. I'm looking through the questions. Oh, Samantha Rush asks, what do you think of weighted blankets for anxiety? Thanks, Jalen. Weighted blankets can be good and bad, and I'm going to give you an example of each because I think it's really important for us to understand how they can help.
Maybe explain what one is.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sean's like, explain what that is. So a weighted blanket is something, they usually come in pretty simple colors. They're something that you purchase online. I haven't found a store, like a storefront or a store that sells them regularly. You can look up weighted blankets. We found them to be really helpful. They were actually created at the beginning. Thanks, Emily29. They were created at the beginning to help with those who struggle, who are on the autism spectrum, or is that what we're calling it now? Yes, the spectrum. And because they feel so dysregulated, the weighted blanket can help calm them down. So they're technically blankets that are filled with heavy, it could either be, I don't even know what they put in them. It kind of depends. Some do like sand, some do just thick, heavy materials. And so the blanket itself can weigh 20 pounds, 30 pounds. And I know that sounds really weird, but it can be really calming, like that heavy weighted blanket, like we talk about sleep feeling like that. Weighted blankets can really help calm us down if we feel dysregulated. However, you know, I just did that video with Alexa talking about being in fight or flight and being hyper vigilant. I find if we experience that type of feeling, if we feel hyper vigilant, we feel scared, the weighted blanket is bad because it makes it feel like we can't move, like we're being held, and that can be like traumatizing. I've had some clients say, thanks Layla SVU, whoop, whoop. Oh yeah, Wascally Wabbit, good explanation. Like the blanket lead thing at the dentist. Have you ever had them put that over you, you know, when they do the x-rays and stuff? Exactly. It feels just like that. And so they have different weights depending on what you want, and they usually let you return them for free and get another one if you want heavier or lighter. But I find them to be helpful if soothing and calming. If you like a lot of blankets on your bed and that feels soothing, weighted blankets would be great. But if you feel hypervigilant and you feel really scared, it can be really triggering and really traumatizing. Okay? That's what it is. Jessica, they're not terrifying. So weighted blankets sound terrifying. They're not terrifying. They're just heavy blankets that could feel good to some people. It can be really soothing for a lot of people. Okay, so Opteryx Industries asks, what's the best way to deal with weight gain on antipsychotics? Truthfully, something that I work with a lot of my clients on is finding out if there's another option for you. I know changing medications can be really frightening. However, weight gain is really common with a lot of older antipsychotics, like if you're on Risperdal, or especially if you're on like Depakote. And they can cause a lot of weight gain. They can even cause metabolic syndrome. So if that's something that you're really struggling with, I would talk with your doctor about it. Talk about side effects. Talk about how upsetting it is and what you're hoping you can have happen, and what your goals are, and see if you can try something else and see if it helps just as well. Because if you're feeling bad about it and it's something that you're struggling with and it's due to medication, unfortunately, when things are due to medication, we can try diet and exercise, but if that doesn't move the needle and help us lose weight, it may just be only medication driven, and therefore we either have to switch medication or work on, body confidence and body positivity around us being the weight that we are. Okay? And if I can get Barry, maybe I'll talk, have Barry come and talk more about like side effects and how to manage those. Thanks, Amanda. Okay. Oh, yay! Alyssa said that I inspired her to go see a psychiatrist, and now I've been on medication for a year, and you feel great. Medication can really help you guys. I don't want anybody to feel like they have to be on medication or that anything has to happen, but it can really change your life. So, at least, oh, Sadie likes Barry. Yay! So at least consider it, okay? Now let's guess somebody. Are we ready for a guest? Be our guest. Oh, Aaron, are you ready? You're here. You're here. Hi. Can you hear me and see me?
Hi.
Hi. How's it look to you? Do you see both of us too?
Yes, I do. I've never actually guested with anyone. This is so strange.
Ta-da! We are doing it really well. And you have a great connection, and we can hear you and see you perfectly fine.
Yay.
Hooray. So what's going on?
I have just been having a hard time with getting help and everything with my therapist. It's weird. You actually helped answer my question before on Patreon.
Yes, yes. I wasn't going to say anything, but if you wanted to say it, you could say it.
Yeah, so I've been having a really hard time. I haven't been able to find help that I can afford and also reach, and I don't really know how to manage, like how to get through things. Finding help, I suppose.
So is it? Oh, is it more, just so I make sure I'm understanding, is it more that you don't know how to find the right help for you? Is that what you mean? Or just finding help in general, like
In
period?
general, to be honest.
Okay.
I've just been using like hotlines and stuff like that since things went AWOL with my therapist.
Yeah.
But it's just not been enough, and it's like 6 months for me to see a therapist through my general practitioner, and I really don't. I mean, all of this came about because of really bad circumstances, anyways, with me having suicidal thoughts. So I feel like, yeah, it's just been tough. I don't
Yeah.
know what's the best way to get help, like fast track it, or I
And it's
don't know.
tricky because you're in Canada, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
And so everything is, it is a long time to wait. A lot of our people, Wascally Lab is commenting, that's a long time to wait. And that is a long time to wait. And there's a couple of things I've learned, and we'll have to look in the chat too, because people will offer up their advice, because you're in a very different system than we are in the States. And I know you have the option of private pay. I don't know if that's something you can afford. I know that that's hard for a lot of
That's what I was
people.
doing with my therapist.
Is it something you can continue, or would you prefer to go through like the socialized system?
It's something I can continue if they're willing to do sliding scale, but
Okay.
a lot of them, like you're required to go in and at least pay the first therapy session at their rate, and I can't do that. So, um, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So this is how I'll tell you, like, for instance, when I found my therapist. So I'm just going to walk you through how I find the help that's right for me. And then let me know if you have any follow-ups. Because I think this is a really important thing, and a lot of people struggle with this. Like, how do I get the right help? And then how do I find it and how do I keep it? And so what I usually do and what I recommend people do in general is figuring out what it is you want to work on. And I know that sounds really simple, but sometimes, like when my friends will reach out, or other YouTubers, for instance, will email me a lot and be like, hey, I'm looking to see a therapist. Can you recommend someone in the area? And I'm like, well, what is it you want to work on? Because that, like, if you're looking for anxiety, then CBT is best. And so you want to find someone who works on anxiety. Or if you're struggling with an eating disorder or self-injury or suicidal thoughts, you want to make sure that they understand that concept and they can help you. So that's always the first thing. And figuring out if you want to see a man or a woman. Because I always like to see a woman, and I know that that's just me, but some people prefer to see guys. Like one of my best friends, she's like, I like to see a guy. And so that's fine too. So those are like the first like preliminary things I do. Then I look up in the area that's convenient for me, because truth be told, in LA, even though things are kind of like close, commuting is terrible and I would never make it, and it would be really hard and it adds stress to my day versus making it better. And then I start calling them, and I don't make an appointment unless I've talked to them long enough that I feel okay with it. And I have a couple questions I always ask, and this is just me. So you can like think about it. Is this helpful, by the way? Am I on line with what you're wanting to know?
Yeah, I have done all of those things, and I feel like I'm not doing something right to, I don't know, get help. I don't know.
You feel like you're not getting the right help, like even though you're doing all those things?
Yeah, it's just really difficult. Like where I live, everything is about an hour away.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just tough, I guess. It's just where we're at. Hopefully, we'll get better with our community. Hey.
Yeah, no, totally. Like, I grew up in a really small town, and finding help for my mom, like she wanted to talk to a therapist, and trying to find that for her was really hard. And I actually called a lot of people until I found one that didn't sound like a hack to me. And it took quite a few calls. And the one that I liked the most wasn't taking new clients. And I was like, ah. But I usually call and talk to them. And then if I get a good feeling, and I talk to them about what I'm looking to work on. Like, oh, I have a lot of work stress and I just need somewhere to vent. And I like structure. I like homework. Kind of knowing what you like. That helps me pick it out a little bit. And then I just go in and see them. And if I feel comfortable, I make a follow-up. I never feel pressure to make a second appointment. And if things take a turn, or I decide that it's not really helping me, I don't feel pressure to continue. And I'll just tell them, I'm taking my treatment in another direction. And I know that's hard for a lot of people, but that's something that really helps us start moving towards the help that we need and what's benefiting us. As well as using your own self-help tools as well. Like things that might you know, whether it's like workbooks or whether it's like, you know, YouTube and stuff, like learning, having a community and having some different supports and different ideas from people can also help. But I also know that some people do get help in Canada through like the referral, like going to your regular doctor, getting a referral to see a therapist and waiting online or waiting in line for that. And I would encourage you to put yourself on that list because who knows? Worst case is we don't like them. And then we go into the private pay, but you're already paying so much in taxes to go towards that. I would encourage you to at least take advantage of some of it, you know? Yeah. Keep me posted. Other than that, it's all about what feels good to you. And if you want homework, like I think your question, didn't you say that you weren't, if he did give you homework, you would do it, but you haven't received any? If that's some
things, I don't really know what we did in therapy for like CBT or any of those things. He never labeled them for me, so I don't actually know what I'm looking for. I'll do some research, but
yeah, or let me know, like send me a message. Maybe we can talk a little more and come to more specifics. But it's okay for all of you out there watching, it's okay to ask the therapist when you see them what type of therapy they do. And then you can look into that type and your issue and see if it works for it. Because as bad as it sounds, something that I'm learning through being on YouTube is that a lot of therapists don't ever tell people what type they do, and they don't ever they struggle to let clients know when they're not helping them anymore. Like, I know it's hard for us to let someone go because it's like a business at the same sense, but it just makes for shitty therapists and it makes for bad experiences. And so you can ask what they do, and you can even ask to see our resume if you want. So you have those, or at least in the States, and I'm sure Canada's the same, but you have the right to ask that. So you could ask like, hey, what type of therapy do you utilize? You know, you could say, I've been reading about CBT and I thought that might be helpful. Is that something that you do? Just see, because they, you know, we're either trained or not. You know, like I don't do EMDR, I don't do trauma therapy, but I do DBT, I do CBT, you know, I'm more behavioral. So yeah, but let me know. Message me.
Thank you so much, Katie. I really appreciate
Yeah, good to see you. I'm glad you were able to be on.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye, Erin.
Bye.
I know it's hard, you guys. It's hard finding the right help and getting, you know, consistently getting it. But know that you have rights to ask like what they're doing and why and all of that. So don't think that you can't check in on your own treatment and make sure it's right for you. And I know every system of care is different, but just know that you're worth it. And sometimes we have to try a few times before we find the right fit. Like I've had a therapist that I didn't like, and it's mainly because it was a guy, but he was also like in training and I could feel it. And it's not that he needed to be like all knowing everything, but I just felt like he didn't know what to do with me. And I didn't like that. So if you don't like that, next, right? Okay. Oh, hey, Shabby Gabby. I'm so glad that you were able to find my videos and I was able to help. I'm so happy to be a resource. Thank you for the positive message. Okay, Freya says, I've been out of school. I'm assuming that's what she's saying. I've been out of school all week simply because I have no motivation to get out of bed. Ooh, why does it do that? Or socialize with anyone. Any advice? Do you have any supports, Freya? My advice, if we're struggling with motivation, is to have some outside support, some people who can motivate you, someone that you're accountable to, like a friend, someone that you actually care about. I find that if we're going to have someone accountable for us, that we need to actually care what they think and we need to actually be invested in it. So I'd encourage you to look to other supports out there. Also, maybe it's something that we have to work on within you. Maybe it's something about like reading positive things. Maybe it's taking time at the end of the day to talk about all of the things that you're grateful for and things that are going for you, because often I find motivation and depression, like lack of motivation and depression, go together. And so maybe that's something we need to work on. But I would also look into seeing a therapist immediately or a school counselor. Talk to someone, let them know. If your mom or a parent is supportive and you feel okay with it, I would let them know that you're having a hard time and ask if they can get you in to see the school counselor. And just start there, start working on it and see if maybe you need an IEP. Maybe you're having a hard time, but make sure, you ask, reach out. It's okay. We all go through shitty times, but we sometimes need more support, and it's okay to ask for it to get you back in the game and back to being motivated. But you can also try, to talk positively to yourself a little bit more. Okay, you guys are talking about things. Sean, what'd you do? Everybody says, thanks, Sean. Good one, Sean.
I logged into your account and I booted that spammer who was talking about
I already
spot for his ants.
Yeah, I already reported him and blocked him.
Yeah, there's like another feature that you have in there to like not only you block it, but you can mark him as a spam.
Is that why I'm just now seeing it? Have we blocked him?
Yeah, I think so. We'll see if he shows up again. What a perv.
Yeah.
But the thing is now I can't get back in.
It's okay.
Because
I blocked him too again. Okay. Yeah, stop spamming, dude. Or girl. Or whoever. Person.
So if I try and log back into YouNow though,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to boot you.
I don't think you're gonna. Wait, don't log into me.
No, I'm trying to log in as me.
Oh,
but
you'd be fine.
No, but it's acting a little funny.
Maybe.
Like.
Okay.
You must. I don't want to allow. I don't know.
I don't know, Sean. Okay. Okay, Lilac, official Lilac, how to help a friend that lives in an abusive household. Sorry, guys, Sean's having trouble trying to get back in because it's wanting to boot me out. So helping a friend that's in an abusive household is honestly, in a lot of ways, when we want to help someone, the best. Thanks, Lee, for the tips. Guys, and 10,000 likes. Almost to 11. Do you think we can get it to 20 by the end? Whoop, whoop. But the abusive household, when people are in a tough space, we can be there to support them and encourage them to get out of it. Offer, if it's okay with your family, offer for them to come and stay with you. And I would encourage them to report what's happening, because if you're under 18, that's abuse. I mean, it's abuse anyways, but it's like legally mandated, reportable abuse. And I would encourage them to take action with that and let them know they can come stay with you until things get better. But if they won't help themselves, like everything, when we always say, you know, trying to help someone with depression, help someone with suicidal thoughts or any of that, we can't help them if they don't want to help themselves, but we can always be there for them. We can check in on them and we can support them as best we can. Okay, I'm hopping over to Patreon, you guys. This is a good question. Okay, she says, hi, Katie, and I never say people's names. I don't know if you guys want me to, but she says, how do I know when I need specialized trauma therapy? I have experienced a period of bullying. Sorry, I'm trying to make sense of it, which I cannot remember. But I don't feel like I've been through something considered traumatic. I feel like I might benefit from it after watching your most recent collab on trauma therapy, but I feel like I haven't really been through any major traumatic experiences. This is a great question because if you remember Paul Gilmartin, the guy, he was a comedian, or he still is a comedian, and I love Paul. And I was on his podcast, Mental Pod, probably last year, I guess, or the year before. I actually still have a video in the archives with Paul. But thanks, Sumo. Woo, woo, woo. Anyway, so he talks about how he did EMDR, and he didn't really have a specific trauma. But he felt that it was part of helping him reprocess things that had just gone on. And I don't believe that trauma therapy has to be for a big T. Do you remember in the video I talked with Alexa and she mentioned like big T's and little T's? And those are like the traumas, like a big trauma or a bunch of little things that are kind of scary or hard. I believe that we could get help in trauma therapy because it works on like the reprocessing of it. And they have so many more tools than a normal regular behavioral therapist such as myself. They have so many more tools than I do to help with that reprocessing. And so I would encourage you to try it out. In truth, a therapist is a therapist, and the specialization just means that they might have more tools in that area. And if you feel like after watching that video that you really struggled with something that it's just hard for you to process and you haven't gotten past it, I would encourage you to try it out. I think it could be really helpful. Paul found the EMDR extremely helpful, and he still talks about it like it was such a small portion of his recovery, but such a pivotal and important part of his recovery. Okay? Oh, Jennifer, he spent most of last night listening to it. It was awesome. Oh, and Stephanie's asking, am I ever going to publish a book? I'm working on it. I don't know how to say this other than the publishing world works at a pace like this. And I work in digital, which works at a pace like this. And so once I have to deal with it, it's just so fucking slow. But I'm working on it. And yes, my hope is to truthfully create, thanks Denise, woo, woo, woo. My hope is to hopefully create a bunch of books about a bunch of different mental health issues and to showcase your stories. Remember, I asked for a lot of your stories. I would like to showcase some of your stories as a way to put a true voice to mental illness. So that's my goal. We're moving forward and we're still working on it. It's just one of those things that's taking forever. Okay? Yeah, books take a long time. Oh, interesting, Ebony. If I could do a research project on anything, what would it be? Um, I don't know, it changes all the time. I was actually just talking the other night with a friend, and I would love to do research on what is it about connection. I don't know how to explain this. Okay, so you know when you are in a group of people, no matter how many people are in that group, you find one that you really connect with. You may not really have talked to them that much, but by like observing them and watching them, you're like, I like them. I don't know why, but I really like them. What is that? Why does that happen? And with regard to like, growing up in an abusive home and stuff and growing up with an alcoholic parent or any of that, like why is it that we're driven to find those people out and like date those people or be with those people or put those people in our lives again? How fascinating would that be? If I had the time and the money and resources to research that, I would research the shit out of that. So yeah, interesting. I find that to be really, really funny. Oh, Jen, if you want to share. Oh, you guys, we're going on the mountain. I wish I was doing this right now. Thanks, Jaylyn. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, this is my favorite. It's my favorite. You guys, there's this little kid on Instagram, and it's his mom, and her Instagram is like Zoe, they say, Zoe, and he's drinking a smoothie. Sean always says it's my favorite video of all time. And he's drinking it, and he's so excited. And his mom's like, "Do you like it? Do you want more?" And he's like, "It's my favorite. It's my favorite." And he says it like 6 times. So Sean and I freaking love that kid. Okay, let's guest another person. Is that cool? We're on board over there, Mister?
Me?
Mister?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Alexandra, are you ready to be our guest? Be our guest. Put our service to the test. Sheepishness is on it. I'm sure Wascally Wabbit is on it. Let's see if we can connect. Yeah, the fireworks were awesome. Hi, Alexandra, or Alex, or whatever you'd like to be called. Allie. Oh, we can't hear you. Can you turn your mic on? Thanks, Emily. Oh, we lost her. Well, if you want to try again, I'll look for you, Alexandra. Thank you, guys. My mom got me this for Christmas. It's Katie's Christmas Lookbook, 2016. No, but I love anthropology. I can't help myself. But I always like put things in my box. I put things in my cart and then I X out because it's expensive. But they had a crazy Christmas sale and they gave my mom a link to this shirt. And then she got it for me. Yay! Okie dokie. Let's try to guess someone else, you guys. Let's try again. Not Too Shabby Gabby. I like that name. It's really cute. Let's see if we can connect with her. She's in the U.S. too. I like that I get to see where you guys are from. I don't know if you guys get to see that, but I see that. And let's see.
Hi.
Hi, Shabby Gabby. Oh, I think we don't have a very good connection. Can you hear me and see me okay? Or am I moving?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What's going on? If I can hear you, I'll try to answer it. You're frozen, but don't worry.
You too, but I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So what's up?
I don't know. Like, I just kind of want to say thank you because, like, the past, like, year and a half I've been in treatment for my eating disorder, and, like, before I even started, I found your channel, and, like, it just kind of helped me.
Oh, yay. I'm so glad. And are you, like, still getting any treatment or things you're feeling good?
Yeah. I just got a new nutritionist because mine kind of fired me, but, you know.
That happens. It's okay. Nutritionists are a little tougher than therapists. The ones I work with, like, my clients would be like, they were really mean. And I'm like, yeah, I'm the nice one. They're the mean one.
Yeah.
But did you find another one that was good?
Yeah, she's a lot nicer.
Oh, good. That's really cool. Well, I'm so glad that I could be a resource if there's anything that you need. And I have the free eating disorder workbook. I don't know if that's still helpful to you, but hopefully that's, something that helps. Oh.
What?
So
Send your dog here now.
Send your dog here.
Yeah, she's an emotional support dog.
Oh, they're the best. I feel like animals are, they're always emotional support whatevers. It kind of looks like my mom's dog, Charlotte. She's like white and fluffy like that. Well, hi, puppy. Welcome to YouNow. I know some people are like, don't baby talk to animals. And I'm like, I can't help it. Hate all you want. So cute. Well, I'm glad that you found me. Yay for the internet. And let me know if you need anything, and thanks for being part of the community and letting everybody know recovery is possible and we can work on it and it can get better, right?
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, thanks, Gabby. Have a good weekend, or I'll see you on Sunday, potentially.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, honey. Yay! Oh, I know, Jennifer, right? People are like, baby talk to animals is so annoying. I'm like, you're annoying. I talk to them the way that I want to talk to them. Okay, Nicole says, how do I get over the fear of being dependent on my therapist and open up and be honest? I feel like my fear of abandonment is inhibiting. Oh, thanks, Sumo. The truth is that when we struggle with abandonment and attachment, it's honestly best if we can find a therapist who does attachment work. I've been reading more into attachment-based therapy and trauma. A lot of trauma specialists will also work with attachment, okay? I'm just putting that out there because that's what my research thus far has shown. And that book, The Emotionally Absent Mother, talks a lot about attachment-based therapies at the end. And there are a lot of techniques that they utilize to stop that from happening because, truth be told, that working with a specialized therapist in that type, you're kind of trusting them to do that for you and to guide you into a healthy therapeutic relationship. But the truth of it is that there are certain red flags we can look for to make sure we're not too attached to our therapist. And maybe that's a video I do. Do you guys want that? Give me some likes and let me know. But I think that the red flags are, I will skip other things in order to see my therapist. Like I can't miss a session ever. I need to check in repeatedly. Thanks, Sumo. I need to, oh, everybody's like, yes, make it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna add it to my list. Sorry, I'm gonna pause for a second. I will come back to those things. Okay, we have parentification, and now we have how to know you're too attached to your therapist. Ooh, to your therapist. Okay, cool. It's locked in the vault. Okay. So it's back to the list, right? If we can't miss a session ever, if we need to check in all the time, if we don't have any other outside support. This is something I actually talked about when I taught that continuing education class online through Good Therapy. I talked about that, like, if we don't have any other people in our life that we can count on and we think our therapist is our best friend and we think they're our only support and they're like our parent, then that's when things get bad and that's when it's unhealthy. So keep those things in mind. I'll create that video, but also maybe seeing a therapist who specializes in it, okay? Oh, you see the watercolor, Kathleen? Is it the blue? Is it right there? Is it that one? Maybe? I think that's yours, if I do recall. Do you guys see the posters too? Have any of you, sorry, wrong.
You're looking around. Where's that?
It's because it's like what I think in my head looking at the screen and what's actually behind me. They don't really jive. Oh, but I jive. But anyway, have you seen the pictures, the posters? Have you gotten them? I've seen many of your pictures of them. I think they turned out pretty good. And maybe we'll do like maybe a mug. It can't be Harry Potter though, because I'm sure that licensing costs a shit ton. But it could be Harry Potter. It could be themed to our community. Could be a quote. Could be like, you got this with an emoji muscle. Blankets. I like where this is going. I also thought about pajama pants because I love those so much. Like, okay, I'm like business on the top, but like sleep on the bottom. That's how I roll. Okay, let's go over to Patreon and look at some of those questions. Okay, so another fellow, Katie, she's got a great name. She says, my roommate is my main support. I can tell she's getting burnout from my roller coaster of moods, and I've backed off from using her as an outlet, but there are times that she's the only person I trust. What can I do to stop feeling burnt out and that I'm a burden? Truth of it is, Katie, is that we have to, oh, wizards aren't copyrighted. You're right, Carly. The truth of it is that we have to talk to them. We have to see if they even feel that way. And I know that sounds really silly and it's really hard. I know it can be scary to talk to someone about something like that because we worry that they're going to tell us what we think is happening. You guys were number 89, top broadcasters. Whoop, whoop. And so I think talking to them about it and having a conversation and maybe looking into, as a side note, so you communicate with your one main support. Then the second is getting more professional help. I don't know if it says that you're seeing a therapist. Yes, you have counseling. Okay. So she has a counselor. So I think that we should look into a group because that helps us meet other people who are struggling and maybe gives us a little bit of a support as long as it's not DBT. DBT, we don't really let people get in touch with each other outside of group because it can be really hard. But other groups, you know, you can get together and it just gives you, we need to broaden your support system. At the same time, we talk to them and let them know what's going on and make sure that they know they can communicate that to us. Because the thing is, we don't want to burn out the friendship. We love them. We want them to be around, but we also want to recognize what their boundaries might be and help them maybe set them up so that we're not worrying about it all the time. Okay? I hope that helps. Okay. Oh my God, Carly does have the craziest. So you guys remember the very first broadcast? Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, let's go back in time. And that frickin' squirrel man thing. The funniest thing, thanks Sumo, the funniest thing is that you see my face, like, because anybody got screen grabs and everybody fucking captured that moment because it was just too good. I'm like this, I'm like, trying not to be judgy, but I'm like, what? Oh my God, Sadie has the best picture ever. Oh, yeah, the squirrel, Wasky Rabbit, right? I love it so much. So Carly put my face from that moment on a squirrel. That should go on a mug. Oh my God. And I didn't want to be rude because, like, what if the squirrel really is having an emotional hard time? Maybe they hide behind the squirrel persona. I can't even pretend that this is serious. I'm sorry. But I didn't want to be mean because you don't know. That was my first live broadcast. And I was like, is this what happens? Is this the thing? That would be a really inside joke. I would love that. That would be great merch. That's something that if I controlled my merch shop and like could make it myself, would like make that shit happen. Okay, let's see. I'm looking in here to see. I know that some of you've tipped a lot, and so I'm looking to see if you're waiting to guest because I will guest you if you want. But thank you, like Sumo. Thank you so much for all of your tips and everything. That's really helpful and really sweet of you. Okay, so where's the video? Manda, did it come on? Did it go on to YouTube, you guys? Do you know that? Thanks, Manda. Yeah, the most anxious animal is a squirrel, right? Could be that way. Oh, Strawberry has a good question, and then I'm going to guess someone, okay? Let's get into that. It says, what is the difference between therapists and counselors? And the truth of it is that the difference is, I'm going to do a video, and I'm actually going to film it in my next round of filming. Just so you know, every Monday this month, a video with Alexa's coming out because we did a whole grip of videos together, and hopefully you find those extremely helpful. Thanks, Denise. Woo, woo. But the differences between counselors and therapists is getting smaller because it used to be. So when I was in school, counselors were people that went to 4 years of undergrad, so just 4 years of college, got their degree in psychology, and then worked as a school counselor. Like they never went on to grad school, they're not licensed, and they didn't have to gather a certain number of hours. Now there are licensed professional counselors, and I'm not that well versed in what that looks like. I know that they have to take an exam, and they do gather a certain number of hours. I'm looking into that to find out more before I film that video, so I can tell you all the differences. But to you, the most important thing, to you, the client, it's not gonna feel any different. And they can help you out hopefully just as much, but if you're looking for a specialist, a counselor is probably not where it's at. I would look for trauma. Thanks, Allie M. I would look for whatever you're needing, like eating disorder, trauma. If it's something serious and you need a specialist, make sure that they specialize and have training in what you're looking for, okay?
Just so you know, people are not, they're using the hashtag and the word advice.
Oh, okay.
And then you'll see questions next.
Oh, I see. Advice.
Yeah,
okay,
so
cool.
It makes it a little easier to stand out.
It doesn't, because then the sometimes they're talking amongst themselves.
Yep, I'm pretty good.
Sounds so smart. Oh, thanks, Suma. Well, bye. I'm glad you were able to get on at all. I'm glad you were able to come. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And next time, on Sunday, we'll be here at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. Oh, Lydia, you're in college for school counseling. Awesome. So I will learn more about it. I will read up more on like all the differences. A lot of the others, like between psychiatrists, psychologists, those I know. But the licensed counselor, I don't want to discredit them, or I don't want you to think that they can't help you because they can. It's just a little bit different. Oh yeah, Amanda's going for LPC. See, people are doing it. It's a thing. I'm just a little older and I've been out of school for a while. So let's guess somebody. Who wants to be our guest? Let's say Dana Dill. Come on down. Is anybody a big fan of The Price is Right? I totally was. Oh my God, you guys! I saw Bob Barker in a medical building. I was coming in the elevator, and I was like, oh, so exciting. Hi, Dana. Can you see me? You're on. You don't have to be on. But you waited, and now you're here. Be our guest. Be our guest. Can you hear me? Are we there? Is this working? Hello? Okay, we will come back and try her again. Oh, your grandma, Sarah. See, that's the thing. Your grandma loved The Price is Right. I think the thing was, I used to go over to my great-grandma's house. I had a great-grandma until I was 11 or 12. She passed away at 92. She loved it. Then, because she babysat me, I loved it. Became a huge fan, and then always wanted to go when I was down here. But going to shows, guys, if you come to LA, is such a pain in the ass. You have to get there like super early. You wait in these crazy lines with all the other tourists, and then you like sit in this freezing cold room while they film, and you're like, huh. It's a whole deal. I'm not good at whole deals, so I never went. Womp womp. But I got even better. I fucking met Bob Barker. He was super nice, by the way, and really tall and skinny.
Oh, also, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you're Betty White. Remember you met her?
Oh, Betty White.
Yeah.
I did meet Betty White. You guys.
LA's weird.
LA is an interesting place. I met Betty White in a doctor's office waiting room here in Santa Monica. It was, she didn't really talk at all. She was just waiting, reading a magazine. But I was like, no one's here with me. Why am I by myself? Anyway, it was super cool. And actually, no, she did have her friend with her. She had like another friend around her age. And they were like, you know, two little old ladies going to the doctor, getting her checkup. So at least we know, you know, she's doing good. I know I totally fangirl. Sometimes it's really funny, like, you know, seeing the people that you've been watching forever. And you're like, I don't know what to say. Okay. So anyway, that was really cool. Let's answer a question. I'll try to guess another one of you. So Ebony says, if you have attachment issues, should you avoid a therapist from that band? I don't know what that means. Did they sing in a band? Sorry, Ebony. I'm trying to find it again. It ran away with the comments. Okay. If you have attachment issues, should you avoid a therapist from that, even if it's easier to open up to them? Oh, okay. So the truth of it, in honesty, something that I'm learning, because I'm reading about it, right? I'm not an attachment-based therapist, so I would encourage you to start reading up on that a little bit so you kind of understand. Attachment-based therapists actually come across a little bit colder, and they're kind of harder for you to attach to because it kind of keeps you safe. And I know that that sounds kind of ridiculous, and it's hard to want to keep seeing them. But if you feel yourself being extremely attached to your therapist, I would bring it up in therapy, I would talk about it, and I would decide from there if you think it's healthy for you to continue. Because there are some things you can put in place to slowly like disconnect from it. But if the thought of not being able to get a hold of them and not doing all the things I was talking about before sends you into like a panic, then as bad as it sounds, I think you should probably see someone else. Because if the panic sets in and the freak out happens, I think it's a little too deep. And we're going to have to find someone who can better manage that for you so you don't feel so panicked. Okay? Because it's okay, you know, it's okay to feel that way. It's just something we have to work with a specialist on. Sydney's asking, how do you get more coins and stuff? I think you can do the free spin. I'm a big fan of the free spin. And then you can go and buy them in the shop. Is that how it works, you guys?
I think they give you like 500 or 1,000 a day or something like that.
Oh, you get 1,000 a day. But you get some to start. Because I got some to start, and then I got some... and then I think you go into the shop and you can do PayPal or something, and then you get them. Anybody know? Let us know. Let us know in the chat how you do that. Okay. My question is, I'm on Patreon, you guys, again. My question is, how can we calm our irrational thoughts? For example, I have an extreme fear of medications right now, and the thoughts that are irrational, such as thinking that my heart will automatically stop if I take anything with chemicals, like any kind of medication. I have other thoughts, like thinking my social worker will leave or won't be able to see me due to possible insurance change, and thinking someone's going to break into my house, then they have a gun and they're going to start shooting. All of this is irrational. I've been told numerous times stuff like this won't happen. My thoughts feel so real, like they could really happen in that moment. And okay. And she says, so what can be done to help calm them? These honestly sound... Does anybody else feel like this is some pure OCD happening? That's my, like, spidey sense. It's like, I think that that is where this is coming from, or anxiety-based in general. And so I know you're not wanting to take your medication, but medication could really help with this. And I think once we feel a little bit calmer, those irrational thoughts will happen less and less. If it's so out of control that thought-stopping techniques don't work, because Jennifer, the person who asked this, if you haven't watched my videos on thought-stopping, put it in YouTube, Kati Morton thought-stopping, or stop overthinking, or thoughts. I think you can put all those keywords in and see what pops up, because I have quite a few of them where I'll walk you through techniques on how to thought stop. One of them being like pulling your mind away from the thought that keeps coming up and is like so strong, and instead taking it on like a journey through one of your favorite memories and like forcing it to think about it, or distracting. There are all sorts of techniques, but my thought is that your anxiety might be too high for that to work, and we might need to get some more medication on board in the meantime, so that we can then work on those tools so that we get stronger and quicker at diverting our attention away from those thoughts. And then we can lower our medication back down, or go off, hopefully. Oh yeah, and Wasky Wabbit says, I get a touch of anxiety myself. And I think that those thoughts usually come from that place. And so I would talk to your doctor, I would talk to your therapist. I'd be really open and candid about all that's going through your head, because if I'm just reading a question and I think, that sounds a little like anxiety driven, like pure OCD, and in my mind goes to like, what would be the treatments I would do for that? And hopefully theirs does too. And you could even mention that, like, I feel like it might be part of like anxiety or OCD, and see what they think, because that's really where I think it's coming from. And I think if we treat that and we work through it and we have some more techniques and tools once our anxiety is lower, it'll get better. Okay. Wascalab says, well, more than a touch, but let's just say a touch. Just for now, no one's judging. We don't have to like get all specific. We can just say a touch. Okay. Who wants to be our guest? Be our guest. Be our guest. Okay. Let me see. Marcus, are you ready? I don't think you've been a guest before. You were the first one waiting. Let's see if we can connect with Marcus. Nope, I hear myself.
Hello.
Hi, Marcus. What's going on?
I smoke 3 packets cigarettes a day.
Are you trying to stop?
I can't stop. And I'm very stressful.
There's an echo, so if you have a question, ask it and then I'll answer. Ooh.
I'm stressed.
Oh, I think we're losing him. Oh, sorry, Marcus. It cut out. If you're dealing with stress and you're having a hard time and you find yourself smoking a lot of cigarettes because you're so stressed and you're feeling really maxed out, there are a lot of... Sean, do you want to put the link to the stress video? There's like tips that I give.
Sure.
But things that I would tell you to do is like making some time for yourself at the end of the day. I know you might be really busy and you might be really stressed, and that seems really hard, but something that I've been looking at, and I talked about this in my video that went up on Thursday, is progressive relaxation. And you can type that into YouTube, Marcus, and look up some videos and watch those so that you can like progressively relax your body. And it's supposed to bring our stress level, our blood pressure, our heart rate all down and help us relax. And I also enjoy Headspace myself. This isn't sponsored or anything. I'm not sponsored by anybody. Let's be honest.
Team not sponsored.
Yeah, team not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored.
Which is this one? The dog?
The how to relax. Yeah, put that one in. Sean's going to put a link in, Marcus, for you. And you can watch that. And I think it will really help. But Headspace works. There's a lot of... Thanks, Jennifer A. I'm so glad you're able to make it. Woo, woo. Anyway, so just looking into that, Sean just put it in the chat, so you can check that out. And hopefully those tips kind of help you calm down and know that stress or anxiety are things that are completely treatable. They're things that can go away and you can feel better, and the urge to smoke can hopefully go down, but one thing at a time. Treating just the smoking, it's like taking away your one coping skill. Right now, we just need to help you feel calmer, less stressed out, then we can work on that. Okay, I'm gonna...
Oh, you're number 74.
Oh, guys, we're moving up. Number 74, and we have 17,000 likes. Let's get those likes up. We have 6 minutes left, but I'll keep going for a little bit longer. Let's guess some people. Some of you, I've already tried to guest you and it didn't work. Do you want me to try again? Let me know. But here's Melinda. Get ready, Melinda, to be your guest. Be your guest. Let's see if we can get... Hi, Melinda.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. What's going on?
I don't really have a question. I just wanted to prove to myself I could do it because I tried like a month ago and then dropped it.
Yeah, look at you. You're going live. You guessed it. I'm glad that we could prove all those nasty thoughts wrong. You totally did it. Yay. If I could send you like a gold bars, like a little ski person, I would totally send it. Or the fireworks. That would be even better. Well, I'm glad you were able to come hang out and you were able to guest. What's on your sweatshirt, by the way? Inquiring minds want to know.
Tigger.
Oh, love it. I love
I
it.
thought that's what it was.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to come on. If you have a question, let me know. I'm happy to answer it, okay?
I do have one question.
Yeah, of course.
I had asked you if I could interview you for a school project, and I also asked my therapist, and she said I could, and I guess just like from watching some of your videos, I'm somewhat paranoid about crossing boundaries with her and stuff and just kind of ruining our relationship. Because she said that we could do it outside of session. She said like she'd meet me at IHOP to do it or something.
Yeah,
And,
to like separate it.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. It kind of depends on what you're asking, because the only thing I would have you consider when it comes to your own therapist is if whatever questions you're going to ask, what she's going to tell you, is that going to be okay information for you to have?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel that it would affect the relationship? If not, then that's fine. But I'm happy to. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter or you're on the website, or if there's a better way for you to get a hold of me. Did you message me on Patreon?
I don't know how to do that. I just replied to the comments. I gave you my email in there.
Okay, I'll look for it then. Because I was like, I think you messaged me there. Or sent a post or something. Because I got your... Didn't I respond and say yeah?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'll look for it then. Because I'm going to get in Patreon afterwards and this weekend. So then we can connect, okay?
Okay.
I'm glad you were able to guest.
So am I.
We'll talk soon, Melinda. Take care. Sounds like she's fighting a cold. Sean says sounds like bronchitis. Sean always gets bronchitis. BT dubs. If we go to Montreal, you guys, 99.9999% chance that Sean's going to come back with bronchitis. It just happens. It's like he used to get it as a child all the time. And now when we go, every time. Okay. Here's another question from the Patreon page. Okay. Hi, Katie. Lately, with longer gaps between therapy appointments, I keep getting feelings of abandonment and thoughts that he'll just stop caring / seeing me as a client. As a result, I go back and forth between wanting to cancel all upcoming appointments and reassuring myself that it's not going to happen. I know my thoughts and feelings are totally irrational. What are your tips surrounding this? That's very normal. And we definitely get that like push-pull feeling where we're like, oh, I don't want to see them ever again. It's just getting too hard. I can't deal with it. And then immediately we're like, it's going to be okay. We can do this. It's going to be fine. And the truth of it is, I would encourage you to talk with them about it. And I would encourage you also to, instead of focusing all the energy on them and their support and being able to see them, I would encourage you instead to turn your view and your focus onto the other people in your life that are supportive and are around and are your friends, family, whoever it is that's able to help you out when you're taking breaks between appointments. Taking long breaks in therapy or in psychiatry or whoever you're seeing or for whatever can be really hard, and it can bring up a lot of things. But I think it's really important to talk about what it brought up in session and also to expand your support outside of it so that if those things come up again and when you have to take other breaks in therapy due to holidays and vacations and all of that, that then you have other supports you can reach out to and say, oh, he's gone again on vacation. I'm just having a hard time. Can I just talk to you about something? And also journaling. We can do a lot of that stuff on our own. And chat on the website and the whole Kenyan community. I would encourage you to just expand your supports so that you don't feel so hell-bent and focused on just that one. Okay? That's my advice. And it's kind of hard. But, it will get better. Oh, thanks, Emily. Woo, woo. You guys, we're almost to 18,000 likes. Oh, Dana, you want to try one more time? Let's try for Dana. We tried her and she couldn't come on. But let's see if we can get her. Here she is. Maybe. Are we ready? Are we ready? Let's see if we can get her. Hi. We can't hear you. Is your mic on? Can you hit the microphone button or something? Since it looks like you're on a phone, I'm not sure where it is. On the laptop, it's right below our screen that you see us. It's like right on the bottom. Did it pop up? Is your phone silenced? Maybe it's flipping the volume on or turning it up. I don't know. Well, we'll try again, okay? We'll try again. Let me know. Let me know if you can get the audio working. Okay. Let's see. Let's answer a couple questions in Be Our Guest. I love seeing the little rabbit wax the web. Is that something only on here, or is that an emoji? Maybe it's an emoji. I love it. Okay. Okay, let's see. Is restricting your food intake just because you want control considered an eating disorder? Like, I'm not doing it to lose weight. Yes, it's considered an eating disorder. Not all eating disorders are about losing weight. Even some of my bulimic or even my anorexic patients and binge eating, not to mention that, like a lot of my clients actually don't try to control their food intake as a way to lose weight. It can be for a lot of different reasons. Some of my clients are like, I want to punish myself. Others are like, I just want to disappear. Some are like, I feel like everything's out of control in my life. Sweet Jesus, I have to hold on to something. I'm going to control my food. Others can feel like it numbs them out because then all they can think about is the food and feeling full. There are a ton of reasons for eating disorders. And some of them are to lose weight, but a lot of them aren't. So don't think that that has to be a component of it. If you watch my videos about the diagnoses and the diagnostic criteria for anorexia, bulimia, binge eating disorder, you can see that and you can understand that it doesn't just have to be about losing weight. Okay, even though that might be like a side effect of it. Emily B, congratulations! 5 months clean of self-harm, you guys. Woo, 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 woo. I wish I could like firework myself. Why is that not a, like here, like,
We'll get you
like this is it.
We'll get you a sparkler.
I know I need a sparkler. Sean's right, and I love sparklers, right? And they probably don't have, I think somebody said they don't have those anymore because that was like a New Year's thing. Remember we did it on, when did we have a live stream? It was like the day before or New Year's Day or something. Sean and I didn't really go out on New Year's, by the way. We went to a friend's house and then hung out. Okay. Oh, Emily, of course. You've been working really hard. I know, party poppers. That's another good idea. Thanks, Erin. Woo, woo. Okay. So, hey, you're a week clean. Oh, not a week clean. That's okay, Ruby. It's one moment at a time. If you're 3 hours clean, I'm proud of you as well. It's all about how we perceive where we're at and knowing that we can keep trying and keep fighting and keep working harder towards it, right? It's one thing at a time. Okay. I've seen a lot of you saying that you want to guest, and I'm looking in here, and I don't see all of you that are mentioning it. I think Lydia mentioned it. Oh, there you are, Lydia. Let's guest you. We're just going to do a bunch of guests, and then we're going to call it a night, because then I got to eat dinner. It's about that time. Hi, Lydia. Are you there? Is it connecting? Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? No? I don't know. It just says it's trying to connect, but it doesn't give me any other options, so let's see. It's not doing it. Nope. Carly, I don't see you in the guest option. I just looked, and you're not in there, honey. I'm sorry. But I did see this person ask to guest, and I don't know if I'm going to say that right. Ibtihal? Is that right? I don't know. You'll get on and you can tell me. Please do tell me. Okay. What's my favorite food? Anything Italian food. Like right now, if Sean could take me out for dinner to Italian food, that would be amazing. There used to be this place in Santa Monica called Histeria de Piccolo, and it was my favorite. I had this truffle pasta. Oh my God, so amazing. But then all of a sudden, we drove by and I was like, where did that restaurant go? Why? Because LA's like that. They like come and go, you know? I also really like, you guys, it's not letting us connect. But there was also this restaurant over on the east side of LA called Red Lion that I love, and it's like German food, but sweet mother of God, it's so delicious. And Hannah's the one that introduced me to it. Thanks, Hannah. Hannah Banana. Okay, let's try another.
I'm such a prick. I'm like, we hit 30,000 likes. I'll take Katie to the top.
Oh, you guys.
I'm just joking.
You're joking.
No,
Don't play with my... Don't play with my emotions like that, Sean. You guys, if we get it to 30,000, you better fucking take me to some Italian food, am I right? Okay, Carly, do you have a question? I don't see you in the guest list, sweetheart.
Yeah, she's
looking.
She's not there. I don't see
I'm looking. Sean doesn't see you either. So if you have a question, ask it. Ask it in chat. But the way that you become... No, you're not. I don't see you, Carly. I just looked. But if you... So you got to either ask your question in the chat. Thanks, Jennifer. Ask your question in the chat, or go into the guest thing and then hit that green button. Okay, but I'm going to answer a question on Patreon, and let's just see, how this goes. Okay, it says, hey, Katie, how do I get over the feeling of guilt when I need to cancel plans due to my anxiety? I try to tell myself that I need to take some time out for self-care, but I still feel waves of guilt, which makes my anxiety worse. Any tips? I think part of it is our self-talk. And so what I would encourage you to do is start talking back to that guilt voice that's like, you're letting people down, or I don't know what it says. It could be like all focused on other people. Like you told them you'd be there and you're such a bailer and a flaker and I can't believe it and blah, blah, blah. And all of that. I know, Connor, right? There's been a lot of spam. Sorry, I can't control it. Can't control the scroll. I can't control the chat is really what it is. But anyway, I would encourage you to talk back to that voice. If that voice is telling you that because you have to take time for yourself and you can't, you have to cancel plans, like telling you that it's bad, like you might, there's a couple things. So I talk back to it myself. That's my first word of advice. The second is that if you have some close friends that you get together with a lot and you maybe have to cancel on a lot, talk to them about it. Let them know. And then let them know that when you do cancel, thanks for the tip, Uncle from Hell. That's a fun name. But I would let them know that you're having a hard time, and then I would tell them that, when I cancel, can you say, I completely understand and self-care is important, or something, right? So that we're kind of setting ourselves up for success, because oftentimes people will understand as long as we tell them, and then also lets us off the hook easier, and then they can also give us a little word of support and help us feel better, so that we don't dive into that deep, like, guilt, anxious feeling where we're like, oh, why do I have this problem? And it can make it worse. Thanks, Manda. So I think, I know, better get ready, Sean. We're getting to 30. You guys, because he's going to take me out to dinner. So that would be my advice, and I hope that that's helpful. Keep me posted on it, because I know it's hard, but it's something that we have to just kind of retrain our brain in the way that we talk about it, and the way that we talk to ourselves about it, because that's what builds our anxiety up. And because now this is my new thing, progressive fucking relaxation.
Wow, dropped an F-bomb.
I know. That's because I've been saying it a lot, and it's new, so I don't even really know how helpful it is for me, but I've read so much amazing stuff about it, I just cannot not believe it. I have to believe that it's helpful. So, we're gonna, oh yeah, that's, hello Suggs, that's a good idea. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Okay. How do we cope with all these freaking spammers? If people spam, you can report them.
You know what, though?
But also for people who are wanting their question answered. There are so many ways to have that happen. One is putting it below my Monday video when it first comes up, because for 24 hours, usually I'm in there answering as many of them as I can. You can also go onto my website under Katie's videos, idea for videos. And you can post it,
I'm gonna go to it.
and you can ask it, and a lot of people answer also, as well as me. And if someone has answered, I don't always just negate it. I will read through their answer, and then I also comment, because we're a community, right? There are a ton of ways to get your question answered, and if that's why you're spamming, come on Sunday and ask it a couple times, periodically, and then come back on Sunday and hang out. And also, if you wanted to, guest, you can do that too. Okay. Yeah, Rebecca says the website is a great resource. Everyone's so helpful. Hooray! And as a side note of the website, you guys, if you find someone in chat talking about suicide and not trying to help themselves and negating all of your feedback, you can let Carly is one of our moderators. Carly is amazing. Carly helps out so much. I sent her a little thank you gift over the holidays because she deserves it. Because she deals with that a lot. Let Carly or myself know. The easiest way probably to let me know is Twitter, just because I know it's in the moment and it's usually in the middle of the night and I'm asleep. But let me know if someone is being hurtful or harmful in chat, because chat is supposed to be a place for you to connect with others, to get extra support, and to connect. Thanks, Manda. And so I think that, you know, I understand a lot of you can be having a really hard time, but the website isn't a suicide hotline. If you're struggling, there's the suicide text line, which I thought I had some stickers from, but I don't know where they went. But 741-741 in the States, you can just text hi or start and they will talk to you. And there are hotlines you can call, but the website doesn't act as that. Okay? So that's the thing. Yep, Amanda, thanks for putting it in there. But so, yeah, anyway, oh, it was the best surprise. Yay, Carly. I know I didn't even tell her I was sending it. And I asked another fellow.
Wait, what did you send?
I sent her a package.
What was in the package?
I gave her a YouTube tote bag. I gave her, what else did I send you, Carly? I know I gave you one of those scratch-off things. It's like an art where you scratch and it reveals colors. Ta-da! I sent her a lot of stuff. But anyway, that's what the website's not for. The website is for support and connectivity and having someone in the middle of the night you can just talk to and be like, I'm having a hard time. How about you? Or this went good in my day. This was bad in my day. How about you? So utilize it that way, because I want it to be a resource, but I also don't want it to be like a place full of dementors just sucking the life out of everything. Right? And we need to make sure that who needs certain types of help is getting the help that they need. Okay? Okay. Let's see. Oh, Bridget loves everybody loves the website. See? Yay, yay. Thanks, Bridget. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking for questions. I relapsed. So Helen from Estonia. Oh, Estonia. I have a couple. I don't know. Helen, I don't know if you use another name on something else or if I have multiple fans from Estonia. But I have someone there who is sending me honey. I'm super excited. They're a beekeeper. Can't wait. It says, I relapsed after 3 years because of the stress in school, but the weird thing is I don't really feel guilty or bad about it. Is that normal? I think that honestly, any reaction to relapse is normal. We can feel really shitty. We can feel bad. We can feel like, meh, because often, and we can also feel like, whatever, fuck this. We can have all sorts of responses. Okay? And I think the reason for that is because it all depends on where our mindset is in the moment. And relapse can come out of a lot of different places. They can come out of extreme stress, and we can feel that like, ugh, fuck it feeling. And that's why we act out and we utilize behaviors, whether it's self-injury, eating disorder, whatever behavior you relapse from, or alcohol, drug use, whatever. We can get to that point and it can come out of that. Therefore, we won't really feel bad about it because we're still technically stuck in that like, ugh, fuck it feeling. But if it comes out of like, I feel so bad about myself, what's going on, why is everything out of control, I feel so icky or whatever, then we might have a different response after the relapse happens. We might feel bad and we might feel sad and we might be like, why did I do that? Things are fine, I can get it together. And so know that however you respond to a relapse is okay and it's completely normal. Okay? Okie dokie. I know the F-bomb is on a roll. Maybe it's just because it's Friday. It's Friday.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? Woo-hoo. Okay, let's see. I'm going to answer one more question on Patreon, and then I'm going to try to guess one more person, and then I'm going to go. Can we get it to 30 likes so Sean takes me to Italian food? Follow me on Instagram and Snapchat to find out if he does, because he made a promise. He did. Okay, Brittany Ann says, oh, sorry, I'm reading names. I usually don't. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm 20 and I have to get a double hip replacement within the next few months, which on its own has me utterly terrified. And on top of that, I've had an eating disorder for 5 years. I've not been professionally diagnosed because I've never told anyone about it, but I know that I have one. I've gotten to the point where it was obvious and I knew what I was doing, not eating and purging. What would the docs do if they suspect something when taking vitals and pre-surgery tests? Can they deny me surgery? I've really tried to make an ultimatum to myself that I'll not be able to have surgery if I keep doing what I'm doing, but it doesn't work. I'd rather be in this paralyzing pain than stop my eating disorder. I even feel like I'd rather die than stop. Please help. I do want the surgery so I'm not in pain, but I can't stop my eating disorder, let alone in just a few months. Is it possible to force yourself to recover from your eating disorder? This is a great question, you guys. Sorry, I had to breathe because I just get into it and then I forget to breathe. My yoga is not helping me. So, yeah, you promised pizza. Stephanie says she saw it with her own eyes. The Kenyans don't forget. So, okay. No, they can't deny you surgery unless it was No, they just can't. When it comes to eating disorders, they don't deny you surgery. The only time they ever deny surgery and things like that is like if you need a new liver and you're an alcoholic and you haven't stopped drinking. But when it comes to eating disorders, please, please, please tell them about it. I know that we haven't told anybody. I know that it's really scary and I know we're worried, but they need to know that information before going in because there are a lot of different complications that can come up and things that happen with our bodies. If any of you I actually had someone on Patreon ask if I do a video about more like the results of an eating disorder, which I did one with Kate, the dietitian, years and years ago. If anybody hasn't watched it, you can check that out. But potassium levels, electrolytes, how all of the stuff that happens in our bodies when we aren't giving it the nutrients that it needs, when we're on a restrictive eating disorder, when we're stuck in that restrictive cycle and the binging and purging, especially when we're binging and purging, because purging can lead to all sorts of ramifications and things that can happen, and we're more likely to have a heart attack, and it's just scary. So please tell them. I know that it's hard. They can't deny you surgery, but they need to know that because there may be some extra, and this is just medical, I'm just talking medical stuff now. There may be some extra bags they need to hang because you need a couple extra IVs because things are a little off inside. And when they take your blood work, chances are they're going to notice some things. So it's best for you to tell them right away. Thanks, Chelsea B, for the tips. Woo, woo. So yeah, that's my advice, is please tell them, please talk to them. They're not going to deny you surgery. No, you can't just force yourself out of eating disorder in a couple of months. And you can white knuckle that, but that's not going to help anything. And once it's over, you'll go right back into it. And so I'd encourage you to talk to them. And maybe they can help you get, some support and some professional help. Because it's there. And you're worth it. And I know it feels horrible, like you can't get out of it, but you can. Okay? Okay, guys. We're not moving to 30,000 very quickly. Okay, ran out of coins, Nicole. Thank you. I know. Only 6,000 more, you guys. Okay.
SpaghettiOs for you it is.
SpaghettiO. Guys, help me.
I'll meet you halfway.
Help me. Okay, I'm going to make Matt a guest, and then we're going to call it, I think. Oh, of course, Brittany. I hope that's helpful. Let's see if we can connect. Matt, I've seen him on Twitter, Mental Health with Matt. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, be our guest. Let's see if it...
Does he have a mental health now?
Oh, can you see me?
I see you.
Cool.
Clear as day. How's everything going?
Things are going all right. So I saw my therapist today and basically talked about like depersonalization, derealization disorder.
Uh-huh.
And I have borderline personality, and basically what I got out of it was that because I've been like trying to push away my emotions, that it's kind of causing the depersonalization, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
it's
because you're kind of
like,
doing it like cut off. Mm-hmm.
so I guess like I kind of ran out of time in the therapy, but he said it's going to be like a whole bunch of emotions will come out at once when I do actually stop the depersonalization and like face my emotions. So any advice on like how to balance those two? Because I feel like they're almost opposites at this point, where one side is like the depersonalization and the other side is the borderline, and I can't like be fully borderline or it's gonna like mess up my life because of the disorder. In that way it feels like I can't be fully depersonalized because the disorder will get me in that way.
Yeah. So, okay. So a couple things. And let me know, like, if you have follow-ups, let me know if I'm answering your question. Because it sounds to me like what you're saying is, how do I start feeling some of the feelings without letting the borderline take over or feeling overwhelmed and going back into depersonalization? And then if I'm trying to stop the depersonalization, how do I manage all that comes up?
Yeah.
Is that kind of it?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, it's very normal. And having borderline personality disorder in conjunction with like dissociation, depersonalization is very common. So you're not weird. I have a couple clients who've struggled with that as well. Okay. So it's okay. Something that's helped my clients, and give it a go and let me know. Cause you follow me on Twitter, right? I think that's where I've seen your name before in your picture.
Mostly
and do you have
on
a YouTube channel?
YouTube, but yeah, I do a little bit on Twitter.
Okay. Maybe it's YouTube. I always recognize, like, cause it's your face. So that's why I know him. And if you have a channel, do you have a channel?
Yeah, I do. And I like...
You guys should check it
Shout it out.
Yeah. Is it called Mental Health with Matt? I think it is.
Yeah, it is. I have some videos on there about like the stuff I'm going through, and I'm like open to anyone to come on and like it's basically for me, but yeah, anyone's welcome to come and talk about stuff there.
You guys go check it out. I think it's cool that you talk about what you're working on. So so for the advice of the emotions, because it always feels like that because we haven't been connecting in a long time and we've been dissociating as a way to deal, right? And so I think the thing that's helped my clients is starting with an emotion, and you may not have one, but starting with an emotion that feels the least amount of charge. And charge being like that overwhelm or the, feeling like it's too much feeling. So whatever emotion that is, maybe it's excitement, maybe it's compassion, maybe, I don't know, you can go through Google like a feeling wheel or a list of feelings and pick one that feels the least amount of charge to you. And then write it down I want to give you a good example. Write it in the middle. This is like an old piece of paper, but the light does not light. But you write in the middle of the piece of paper that in big bold letters, that emotion. And then I want you to start thinking about all that comes up with that and just writing it, just almost like free association. Like what comes up when I think of happy? I think of vacation. I think of dogs. I love dogs. I think of my children or my husband or my wife or my friends or whatever, and start going through and just writing it all out until you feel like you have nothing left to put on that paper. And so in the middle will be a big bold, it's kind of like a craft project, but I find it to be helpful. Let me know if not. But then they put in big bold letters, and you can do different colors too if that feels best, or you can do different types like a pencil or a crayon. You can do different types of things that you're writing if it feels better, until you feel like you have nothing left. And then you read it and you look at it, and then we move on to the next one. And you don't have to do it quick in succession. You can do it once a week or once every other week. But I would talk with your therapist about it, like how it felt to talk about that emotion, just that one, and focus in on it, because it kind of slows our brain's processing down. Does that make sense a little? Does that sound like it might help? Have you tried it?
I haven't tried it, but I think I will. And then I'll probably even try it online and post it as a video. Yeah, I've never tried it before, but it's kind of just to slow down going through everything.
Yeah, so that you focus on one emotion at a time. Because what my clients report to me is that it's overwhelming, and then I feel maxed out, and then I dissociate. And it's we can't stop it. I don't know how to slow it. And so if we try to focus in on one emotion at a time, and you might not be able to move on that quickly. That's why I was don't feel like you have to go through a bunch of them. Just feel like you can go at your own pace, and maybe you do an emotion that's a little close to the one you just did, but just a little different. And that's why I'd encourage you to look up a feelings list and print it out and start marking them off. And there's going to be some that are hard, and my guess would be for most of my clients, the hard ones are anger and sadness. So let's just leave those for a bit until we feel a little bit more controlled. And then the reason I tell you to bring it into therapy is as you build up to the ones that are a little harder, a little more charged, you're going to have to work on some relaxation techniques and things to help you stay present, like maybe grounding techniques. Whatever it is, that should help too, so that then you don't feel yourself go into dissociation or feel yourself leave without feeling in control. And it's just we're working a new muscle. So be patient with it. And if you do still dissociate, it's okay. We'll come back. We'll try it again. It's just something we got to kind of work on, because that's been our go-to, Okay? But keep me posted.
Thank you so much.
I'll look for your comments. Of course. I hope it helps. Okay. Bye, Matt. And you guys check out his channel.
Bye, thank you.
Of course. Bye. You guys, I get Italian food. What? Party, 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 party.
There you go. It's for you.
This is what he brought me, you guys.
No, but I'll take you. We'll go.
You'll take me?
Yeah.
He's gonna take me. We're going.
Those are your trophies.
Those are my trophies. This is not what I ordered. Yay. You guys are the best. You're the best. I know I say that all the time, but literally you guys are so wonderful. And I know, I don't mean actually, but I know some people may think that this is stressful for me or hard for me, but I really enjoy hanging out with you. And I really enjoy spending time. And I feel like our live streams are when we really get to hang out and chill, and that's why I like to do them. And I always want to give my Patreon patrons a shout out, because I couldn't do what I do without any of you. From the $1 to $100, it doesn't matter, whatever you're able to give, every bit helps, because as a community, then we can create more. And I'm looking at creating a little more scripted, kind of cinematic-y videos. So I hope you like them. They're kind of cool, and I hope that you think that they're really fun.
Are you going to Snapchat and Instagram this little Italian dinner?
If he takes me out like I'm planning, it's not just this.
No, it's not. That's the trophy.
Oh, that's the trophy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, look what you got. That's a good screen capture one. But no.
This is the thumbnail.
If people want updates, they just have to follow you.
Yeah, you follow me on Snapchat, Kati Morton.
The night is not over.
No, our night is just getting started. But Snapchat and Instagram are both Kati Morton 1. So you can follow me. Sometimes, yesterday I thought I was real good about Snapchat and Insta stories, and then today not so good because I was in meetings. Meetings aren't fun to I can't. Literally, I cannot, because I have to take notes because I'm a note taker. That's what I do. Wine is required. Exactly, Nicole. Gotta have wine. But I love you all, and I want you to know how important each and every one of you are to me, and it's just so cool. I had a meeting today, for instance, and they were talking about, they're like, you're the only person doing this, and, how do you get through everything, and, isn't it really intense and stressful? And I'm like, no, we have a community, and I explained the Kenyan, concept and where that came from. I'm like, and they help each other and they talk to each other, and it's not just me. We're all working together. I was like, and that's what makes it really cool. And I explained to them Patreon and how I started it, because I'd quit my full-time job, which I still see clients in private practice. A lot of people ask. I just don't have a full-time job for a steady income. This is my steady income. And so the fact that all of you are behind me and supporting the community and supporting the videos, it means a lot. And I know I send out letters to those of you who are in, there's certain levels within Patreon. If you haven't checked it out, you can look at it. But I send notes and gifts, and there's a raffle and people win it. And I know I send those out every month, but they don't really do justice to how much you mean to me and how much you've changed my life. So I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you on Sunday at 1 p.m. back here at the same place. And if you want to continue the conversation, you can hop over to katimorton.com, sign into the chat there, and go hang out. Have a good time. Be supported by other wonderful Kenyans. It's Kenyan-tastic, right? Isn't that what we call it? I think that's the word. Okay, I love you all, and I will, thanks for getting me Italian food. Truthfully. Truly amazing. Okay. Okay, you're here on Sunday if you're wanting to be guested. I will try to guest you. Okay, bye!